It's always difficult to describe the difference in atmosphere in international soccer as opposed to club soccer. There's something intangible, something almost inquantifiable that just makes everything so much more electric. Hello, everyone. I am Metafiction, and welcome to the World Simulation Football Classic. Over the next couple of weeks, 16 federations will be duking it out to see who will be the best federation in the world. Last time out, a few seasons ago, it was the Union of Central and South America who came out on top over all challengers. This time around, with Central and South America in separate federations, the field is clear for one of these federations to assert dominance. But who will it be? Well, we're about to find out. As I say, of course, international football, always a bit of an extra little spice on top of the SSL that we're used to. Going to be very exciting to watch all of these players in combinations that they don't usually find themselves in. We start off today in Group A, where Benelux, who have looked very impressive in the pre-tournament friendlies, will take on Canada, who made a quarterfinal run last time out. There's tension in the air, of course, as the group stage is about to get underway, and so it does, as Benelux will kick us off here at the WSFC. Benelux going left to right in the white kits, Canada right to left in their customary red. Canada, of course, without their talismanic veteran striker Sky Rise, who recently retired, did not make the tournament squad this time around, was the Golden Boot winner at the previous WSFC. It remains to be seen how well Canada will be able to replace his influence. In the meantime, here is Jean-Claude Goddamn into Nerve de Groot! Not even 5 minutes passed, and we have the first goal of the tournament at the hands of Nerve de Groot for Benelux. This move is made by Jean-Claude Goddam's cut right there. De Groot with a great finish right at Wall Jr., who's able to get a bit of a something to it. And only deflects it into the net. And so, right out of the gate, Benelux 1, Canada 0. Benelux winning that ball through Furious Chicken. Forced out wide. A strong challenge by Tentacles, but Chicken does keep it. Now weaving inside. Just inside the box. Shoots! And it's a second! Well, the Reykjavik fullback doubling Benelux's lead. Barely a minute after the first one was scored. It's great awareness from Furious Chicken to win the ball back after that challenge from Tentacles. And a good finish that eludes everybody. Benelux making a real statement in the opening stages of this one. Ball won by Garfield, Hagland, now Velstrazen-Smith. Here's Sinclair. Canada's first real attack of the match, but Detrea with a good challenge there on Maggie Sinclair. Detrea, the first overall pick in the recent SSL prospect draft by CF Catalunya. Certainly justifying that selection with that challenge. Here is Medema. Now Chicken. Chicken shoots from a tight angle, and it's 3! In just about 11 minutes, Benelux putting Canada to the sword already. 3 goals to 0, and 2 of them from that man, Furious Chicken. Well, I say, man, it is, of course, a chicken. Nevertheless, 2 goals for Furious Chicken. Benelux really marking out their credentials here. They're going to be a very exciting team to watch at this tournament. Not to be outdone, Tentacles with that challenge. Now here's Velstrazen Smith, spraying it out to Ashcroft. Mulgrain, back to Ashcroft. Inside, Velstrazen Smith shoots wide, and Ashcroft offside regardless. Hefeweizen. Medema, but Velstrazen Smith intercepting the pass. Ball falls to Hagelin. And again, Hagelin retaining possession, shoots! It's a goal! Jane Hagelin has one back for Canada. Heads-up play there by Hagelin to seize on the challenged ball. And it's a very difficult finish. But it does go back in the net. And this maple tree not so easily felled. Canada have one back, cutting the deficit to 2. And now here they come again. Velstrazen Smith dispossessed there by ball. Ball falls through. Jean-Claude Gaudin shoots just wide and is offside. An end-to-end game right from the start. What a way to start the WSFC. That goal, Canada's only shot so far. Meanwhile, here's Benelux. Ball in a lot of space, and off the post and in. La Bamba Ball restores the 3-goal lead for Benelux. It is 4-1. Medema took the free kick. Detrea found Ball. Ball with a very tight finish. Banks it in off the upright. And here's Jean-Claude Gaudin with the free kick. Mulder crosses in and Wall able to hold on to it. Canada a little shell-shocked in the early stages. They'd gotten one back, but instantly pegged back again to 3 goals down. Can they come back from this? Here is Chicken. Ball. Pressured by Hagelin, has to send it back to Hercule Hefeweizen. And Gerritsen. Forward to Jean-Claude Gaudin. Now here's Chicken again. And Tentacles with just enough in that challenge to put Chicken off, and it's going to be a corner kick. Delivered in by Chicken and headed back clear to Chicken. 1-2 with Ball. Here's Chicken again, and that's a hat trick. Well, Furious Chicken scoring goals fast and furious. 3 goals in the first half in just over 30 minutes. And Benelux had pulled out to a commanding 5-1 lead. And it's not even halftime yet. An absolutely dominant display from Benelux in this first half. Here is Hagelin for Canada. Now Mulgrain up the wing to Ashcroft. And it's cut out there by the Benelux defense. And now here comes the counterattack. Mulder out wide. Back in for Medema. And he shoots from range. And Wall can only parry it behind. Chicken to deliver the corner kick. Sent in and headed just over the bar. That one had some velocity on it. Might have beaten Wall, but couldn't keep it down. Now at the other end, it's Sam Volta for Canada. Corner comes in to the far post. It looked like Detrea heading it over. Tentacles with the diagonal cross, but Boucher able to hold on. Here's Ball. Chicken. Chicken through the back line and over the bar. Wall pushing it over. Will win the corner kick. Delivered in, and it's Jean-Claude Gaudin. Well, this past season's Golden Boot winner was bound and determined to put himself on the score sheet today, and he's done it off that corner kick at the near post. It's a bit unfortunate. It takes a bit of a deflection off Kika Ball, but nevertheless, on target. Benelux 6, Canada 1. That's Fraser Smith winning the ball back. Now here's Fish. Hagelin has a go, but it ricochets off of Detrea. And now Benelux come forward again. Already a phenomenal 6-1 lead. Looking to add to it. Hagelin losing out there to Ball. Van Gerritsen back to Ball. Chicken gets around Sam Volta. Crosses in. Jean-Claude Goddamn has another one. And it's lucky 7 for Benelux right before the half. Well, this has been nothing short of Benelux domination. It's a great cross from Chicken as the Reykjavik teammates linking up for yet another goal. And that's 2 now for Goddamn. Detrea trying to find a teammate in the middle, but cut out. Sinclair heading it down. Dueling with Hefeweizen, who does win out. Vandersloth. Back to Chicken. Here's Nerve de Groot. Scored the opener. Vandersloth through on goal. And it's another one for Benelux. And this is frankly unprecedented. 8 goals in the first half. 9 in total. Benelux marking themselves out as early potential favorites. If this performance is any indication, we might be in for something special as that corner from Furious Chicken headed over the bar. And only now is it halftime. Benelux with 8 goals in the first half. An astonishing display of attacking might. Canada with 1 goal to their name. On any other day, that might be a boon, but in this case, looking a little paltry compared to Benelux's haul thus far. Well, my goodness, that is a singular half of football. 45 minutes left to play. It has been nothing short of smothering this Benelux attack. The first half hat trick from Furious Chicken. A brace so far from Jean-Claude Goddamn. Benelux are going to be a very difficult opponent for any team in this tournament based on this performance. 14 other managers furiously taking notes from this match. How do you stop this attack? Certainly there will be time for that later on as the teams making their substitutes at the half. If you're the Canada manager, what do you say to that squad to pick them up after a half like that? What can you say? Well, the second half is underway here. And it's Canada with possession early on. Sinclair, though, losing out to Hefeweizen. Chicken to Vandersloth. That pass, though, cut out by Fish. But only for the moment. Chicken again on the wing. So dangerous up that right flank. Crosses in. Finds its way to Mulder at the far flank. Van Gerritsen wins the corner. And coming out hot out of the break once again are Benelux, who have a corner here. Furious Chicken delivers. Headed into the air. Hefeweizen heading it toward goal. Nothing doing on this occasion, though. Fraser Smith cuts it out, and here comes the counter from Canada. Sinclair. Squaring it. Hagelin. Well, it might be cold comfort at this stage, but it's a second for Canada. Not long after the break, has the Canada manager, has the Canada coaching staff been able to talk some fight back into this Canadian squad? It would be the most improbable comeback in SSL history. Ball forced back to Wall. Garfield sprays it out wide. Here's Maugrain. Canada taking their time, trying to find their opening. Ashcroft back to Maugrain. And again. Now inside to Fish. Fish squares it. And Chicken there to mop up. But it's only going as far as Maugrain. Maugrain from the edge of the box wins the corner. Or rather not. It's a goal kick. Apologies. It looked as though it took a deflection, but from this angle, it appears to have been deceiving. It's a throw deep in the Benelux half, courtesy of Van Gerritsen, and Canada immediately winning it. Here's Hagelin on a hat trick, and that one is off the corner of the goal. It would have been some goal, too, from a long way out with a wicked curve on it. Not to be on this occasion. Vandersloot chips it forward, but Maugrain deals with it. Now here's Ashcroft. Into Fish. Smith back to Fish. It's the 1-2. Now here's Ashcroft squaring it. Maggie Sinclair. Well, they might be out of time for a full comeback, but if this goal stands, a third one would go a long way in the morale department, and it does stand. Well, there's still 5 goals down, but Canada not going down without a fight. It's a great pass from Ashcroft and a great first-time finish from Sinclair. Let's look at the replay to see what VAR was looking at, and there you see it. Sinclair onside. And so the goal will stand. Hagelin losing out there to DeGroot, and it's forward, and it's Jean-Claude Goddamn completing the hat trick. Well, if there existed even a glimmer of hope of Canada coming back from that amazing deficit, that glimmer has surely been extinguished now. Hagelin loose in possession, DeGroot winning it. Vandersloot with a perfectly placed pass, and Wall in no man's land as Goddamn slots it past the defense. Benelux now scoring 9 goals on this match. An incredible return for this squad. Canada winning possession. Volta up the line for Hagelin. Hagelin still on the hat trick. Passes to Volta. To Fish. Eric Fish. Well, at this stage, it won't do much for the result, but 4 goals is a fairly encouraging return here for the Canadians. On just about any other day, 4 goals would be enough to win a match. Unfortunately, they wandered into a Benelux who were ready to score 9. And that is the final result here in the first match of the day, rather. Benelux, 9 goals, hat tricks from Furious Chicken and Jean-Claude Goddamn. Furious Chicken, the player of the match as well. Goals also from Vandersloot, La Bamba Ball, and Nerve de Groot. Canada with only 4 in comparison. Imagine saying that, only 4 goals in a game of soccer. Jane Hagelin with a brace, one of the standout players on the pitch. Eric Fish and Maggie Sinclair also weighing in. And it really cannot be overstated how impressive that Benelux attack looked today, firing on all cylinders. And so a very impressive result. Benelux 9, Canada 4. And that goal difference could prove vital down the line for both sides. Next up, it is West Africa versus South America in the other match in Group A. Both these teams eager to stake their claim to a position in this group. Remember, South America, part of that Union of Central and South America team that won the last WSFC, having been divorced from Central America. How will South America fail? West Africa themselves, the product of a continental split. The African contingent from last tournament being split into West and East. East we'll see a little bit later on in Group B. But for right now, it is West Africa who will strut their stuff against South America. Of course, how do you follow a match like that with 9 goals from one side, 13 in total? Nevertheless, follow it they must. It is a withdrawn 4-2-4 for West Africa with the two holding midfielders and wingbacks. And similarly, a 4-2-4 for South America. Well, Benelux leaving a bit of a gap in goal difference for whoever wants to take the initiative from this match. And it's a challenge I'm sure both sides will be eager to take on. The match is underway here. And it is West Africa winning the ball immediately, going right to left. Tenderloin for South America. Delivers it in. Ibrahimovic, one of the inactive draftees, or inactive at the time, Kirkpatrick, has a shot, but goes over. Certainly not matching the breakneck pace of the previous match, but fascinating in its own right as it continues to develop. Here's Ripley Dieter. Now Tenderloin. Up the line again for Dieter. Ramirez can't quite get onto it as Urkel wins the ball away, but Neymarinho right back to it. Santos Neymarinho for Reykjavik North Shore. Tenderloin. Ball blocked by Selic. Now here's Bohum. Steiger to Deanne. Deanne squares it and tipped behind there by Wilson. Deanne with the delivery and headed clear. Zerhuni. JQ. Momo Adamu. Trying to get around Dieter and failing. Here's Cabral. South America looking to build, but losing out here to Farah Diane. The far wing sends it back to Urkel. Urkel weaving into the box, shoots, and it's a goal for Steven Urkel. West Africa pulling out in front. Farah Diane doing well to keep the ball away from Cabral there, out on the wing. Urkel with some great ball movement to get away from Neymarinho into enough space to fire the ball into the back of the net. West Africa 1, South America 0. So how does this change the calculus in this group? And can South America fight back to equalize? Luis Jr. sends it out to Neymarinho, who crosses it back in. Now Ramirez. Neymarinho again gets around Diane. Floats the cross in, trying to hit the far post. Dieter beaten out by Adamu. Now up the wing, it's Justinissen. Urkel out to Diane. Schweinsteiger. Falls to Deanne. Deanne squares it. And Tater Justinison has another one for West Africa. Well, Deanne does well to get into a position. The challenge from Luis Jr. puts it back into his path. And Justinison finishing the job at close range. Now here's Schweinsteiger to Adamu. Adamu just inside the post. And all of a sudden it's 3-0 to West Africa. Well, it's a little bit more of a tentative beginning than the previous match, but it has roared into life in a big way here. Adamu carrying the ball forward, blasting the ball into the net. West Africa showing their dominance over South America here. Dieter now with the cross for South America, off the post. That ball was floated in, headed with some velocity, but hits the framework of the goal. And that was South America's best chance thus far. Urkel wins out. Deanne shoots and wins the corner. It was Kirkpatrick on the block there. Delivered in by Adamu. And ultimately sent clear. Adamu crosses in, and that one hits the side netting. South America a bit tentative in the build-up here. That West Africa press hemming them in. Ultimately forced to go long, headed down. Bohum's pass cut out by Ramirez, but they keep the ball anyway. For Schweinsteiger out to Deanne. Now Selic. Selic just wide. It was a great move there by West Africa. Could have made it 4, but wasn't to be there. Selic shooting just wide at the opposite post. Justinison, the scorer. Here is Adamu, the tenderloin. Takes advantage of the loose touch for a moment. Kirkpatrick cuts out the pass. Now Ibrahimovic. Neymarinho. Trying to get around Deanne. Cross at the end line. Colapinto back to Neymarinho. Crosses in for Ripley Dieter. And South America have an answer. Neymarinho going to the end line. With the 1-2 with Colapinto. Looked like it was headed to Monroe there. But Dieter, the true threat in that play. And now South America have something to hang on to as we head toward the break. And so at halftime, it will be West Africa 3, South America 1. West Africa with the bulk of the really good chances, but South America having some opportunities of their own. The clean sheet broken not long before halftime, courtesy of Ripley Dieter, but it is West Africa who lead thanks to goals from Justinison, Adamu, and Urkel. You see there Farah Diane making things happen there for West Africa so far today. Well, this is certainly a fascinating match as we enter the second half, with Benelux showing their dominance in the first match. These teams knowing that this match could be so important in the final reckoning. Joao Cabral up the wing. Ibrahimovic trying to find Neymarinho but can't. But Neymarinho winning the ball anyway. And it's a close-range finish from Dieter. And with 30 to play, South America just one goal down. A great move there. Neymarinho finding the run of Dieter, putting it out of reach of Otto von Bismarck. And just like that, South America back in this match. West Africa need to be careful not to concede another one here. An equalizer could be disaster. Dean squares it. A bit of chaos there at the goal mouth, but ultimately sent away. Now Colapinto. Cross in, trying to find Ibrahimovic, but nothing doing. Progressive pass, trying to find Justinian, but can't. Luiz. And that long pass intended for Ibrahimovic, but instead it's Zerhouni. Now Schweinsteiger. Luiz gets over for the challenge. West Africa looking for an insurance goal. At the edge of the box, it was Schweinsteiger. Schweinsteiger sent it wide. Deep free kick from Ripley Dieter. Had it in. And it was a great chance for Kirkpatrick at the far post, but was offside. And so it will not stand, even if it had gone in. And with Damu to stand over the corner kick. Bullet it in. Schweinsteiger again from just inside the area. Now Zerhouni first back to Dean. And up the near wing. It's around Neymarinho, crosses in, but headed away by the defense. Now Adamu. And Bohum nearly getting it past the goalkeeper there. Dean with the cross. Out to Schweinsteiger. And Schweinsteiger fires it off the base of the post. Justinian bringing it down. It's back out to Schweinsteiger. Nearly putting the game away with that shot. And there's Selic, and just wide again from Selic. This time it is another corner kick. Less than 15 minutes to play here. West Africa holding on to this lead. Dean crosses in. And Wilson jumps over everyone to claim it. With Benelux perhaps now the group favorites, how important will this match be later on? Dia. Up the line for Schweinsteiger. Urkel sending it long. Here's Dean. Low cross in. It's back to Dean. Cross. And it's a shot from Sammy Bohum. Well, he was an important factor in Africa's run last time around. And once again, he's weighed in a big way for West Africa. What a shot that was, getting away from Cork Tenderloin. And that might have put this match to bed. West Africa leading by 2, and that shot just barely saved by Wilson. It's developed so quickly from that goal kick. Now Dean with the corner. Schweinsteiger sending it back, floated in. And it's headed in by Momo Adamu. And that really is that. With about 10 minutes to play. Dean played the 1-2 with Schweinsteiger and then crossed it in. Wilson went up to claim it, but Adamu, stronger, taller, able to had the ball into the net. West Africa 5, South America 2. Salic crossing, trying to find Justinian, who went down, but no penalty given. Now Salic winning the ball, has a shot, deflected behind. Schweinsteiger, and that ball sent over. Bit of a scramble there at the goal mouth. Bohum trying to cross it in. Justinian. Urkel, now Deanne. Deanne just past the end of the bottom of the post, rather. Urkel with a shot from range, and that one goes wide, courtesy of the defense there. Adamu, Schweinsteiger, and again, that one rebuffed behind. Here's Bohum. Another shot from range, taking a couple of wicked deflections, and it falls to Alexander Selic, but is he onside? There's a real scramble. It's hard to tell what happened. VAR looking at it, and the goal has been chalked off. No goal. Let's look at this again. And see Schweinsteiger there heading it right at Wilson, who does well to keep it out. Selic too far advanced at that moment. And so the goal disallowed, but West Africa with no cause for complaint. As that ball goes through and the final whistle goes. West Africa with a strong 5-2 victory over South America. Ripley Dieter with a brace for South America, but it is Farah Diane with 4 assists on the day. A phenomenal creative performance there, who takes player of the match honors. 2 goals from Momo Adamu. Goals also from Tater Justinian, Sammy Bohum, and Stephen Urkel. West Africa clearly inspired by Benelux's performance, eager to show that they too have come to play at this tournament. They will play each other on match day 3, and that is going to be a very exciting matchup indeed. And so match day 1 for Group A ends with a commanding victory for West Africa. Benelux top of the group on goal difference after 1 round of fixtures. Of course, anything can change in the SSL. The WSFC certainly seen some very surprising results. Now we move on to Group B, where we see a very different collection of teams: Oceania, Eurasia, East Africa, and the British Isles, all ready to see who will come out on top. It is those first 2 that I mentioned that we will see first: Oceania against Eurasia. Oceania with the asymmetrical 3 at the back formation, Hoppity playing a little further back, and Eurasia with a 4-2-3-1. Islam Genkal playing just behind Cohen there in the center. British Isles, of course, will be the team to watch in this group, but both of these sides, Oceania and Eurasia, will be looking to knock them off that predetermined perch. Certainly, as I say, anything can happen in the SSL in general and in the WSFC in particular. Match is underway as Bamford trying to send it out wide. A bit more of a tentative start in this match, even compared to the first two. Only 2 shots here from Oceania. Eurasia, meanwhile, finally getting a shot. Neither side with a shot on target, however. Kerrigan. Playing the ball through the defense are Oceania. Here's Kulishad. Aloisi. Hoppity. Hoppity trying the shot, but goes well wide. Kabiri on the goal kick. Passes inside to Cohen, playing even more withdrawn than the attacking midfielder, Genkal. Perhaps in a bit of a false 9 role there. Here is Cohen shooting and ruled offside. Would have gone in had it not been for the violation. Bit of a stay of execution there for Oceania as they bring the ball forward here. Hoppity. Tortellini has picked up a knock for Oceania. That'll be something to keep an eye on as the match progresses, as that header from Maximiliano goes over the bar. Ball won by Oceania. Here's Nelson. Forced back to Lee. McManus now. Through to Hoppity. Hoppity taking another shot, and once again going well wide. Had teammates in the middle, albeit in a congested box. Instead, has a go themselves. Kulishad with the corner just before halftime. Sent fizzing in, and Kabiri able to hold on to it. Aloisi out to Hoppity. Hoppity crossing in this time, and the header from Maximiliano right at Kabiri. Here's Hoppity again, the center of this Oceanian attack so far. The referee seems to have given a penalty here. It's borderline. It's right on the edge of the box. VAR will weigh in on this as we have 1 minute of added time. This VAR review will take a good chunk of it. And no penalty given. The foul occurring just outside the box, but it is still a very dangerous free kick. Maximiliano sending it in, and the header at the near post by Beakley Eilish going just wide. And that is how we will end this first half. Oceania having some fairly decent chances there toward the end of the first half, but ultimately coming up empty against Eurasia. And so it is 0-0 at the break. Oceania having just the better opportunities. Only 2 shots for Eurasia so far, neither on target. And it's goals that matter in soccer, and neither team has any. And so halftime as the teams make tactical changes and remotivate themselves for the last 45 minutes of this one. Genkal up the wing, Shaheen. Genkal has a shot, and it's behind for a corner, courtesy of McManus. Kruskin stands over the corner kick, floated in, trying to find Genkal at the far post, but neutralized, at least for the moment. Armaros. Diacra. Ultimately forced back our Eurasia. Emza. Back to Armaros. Genkal. Trying to get around McManus, but can't. Now Shaheen. Back to Genkal. Genkal from range and forces the save out of Kerrigan. First shot on target for Eurasia today, courtesy of Neslihan Genkal. Pushkin with the corner kick, and it's another one from the opposite side. This time Hannibal Armaros to deliver. Whipped in and headed clear. Shaheen with a cross from deep. And Kerrigan equal to it. Well, the backwards counterattack throw doesn't really pan out for Oceania, but they do win possession back regardless. An intense battle so far. With less than 30 minutes to play, it's anybody's guess how this one will turn out. Genkal through to Shaheen. Shaheen gets past the back line, shoots, and Lee concedes the corner. Eurasia starting to wake up in this match, starting to get in some very good chances. Kruskin sends in the corner, and that one's headed behind by an Oceanian defender. Armaros. That one's sent out. Only as far as Shaheen. Cohen. Armaros has a go, and it's over the bar. Patient build-up from Oceania here. Looking for their opportunity. Lee. Maximiliano forced back by Genkal. Eilish. Now Hoppity. Hoppity trying to get around Fiacra. Sends the cross in at the far post, and Maximiliano wins another corner. Oceania had ceded a little bit of ground to Eurasia in this half, now getting back up the pitch. And that corner rebuffed by Armaros. Aloisi at the end line crosses and held on to by Kabiri. Time ticking down for both these sides. A draw, not the worst result given the match, but given the opportunity, you'd think both sides would be after those 3 points. Deep cross finds Neal there, and Neal sending a great opportunity, sailing over the crossbar. Came within a few inches on the ball from breaking this deadlock, and yet getting the finish completely wrong. Armaros with the corner in, Kerrigan equal to it. Well, it seemed early on that Oceania were going to dominate this one, but Eurasia, credit to them, have fought back. Here is Hoppity, crossing at the end line, had it in. Aloisi wins the corner kick after a great save from Misag Kabiri. Riamel Kulashad stands over the corner kick. Just about 5 to play as it comes in, headed into the air. Sent as far as McManus, and the move resets. Shaheen to Armaros. Armaros from the edge of the box. And it's a save from Kerrigan. Both goalkeepers coming in clutch when called upon today. Armaro standing over it, now delivers. And that one headed away. Shaheen. Back to Armaros. Headed down, and Kerrigan able to get to that one easily. Bamford cutting out that pass here. Squaring it to Shaheen. Now out wide to Pruskin. Pruskin cutting back inside toward the center. Shoots! And Kerrigan holds on to it. Just 1 minute of added time. And it's a free kick here for Eurasia. Pruskin trying to find Leo Fiacre, but nothing doing. Bamford. Now Ivanov. All the way back to Kabiri, and the referee has seen enough. Blows for full time. And it is a 0-0 draw. Just about the right result, in my opinion. Both teams with flashes of brilliance, but neither one really possessing the cutting edge needed. Hippity Hoppity, your player of the match, manufacturing some very good chances there for Oceania. None of them really paying off, but certainly a valiant effort from both sides. Oceania perhaps hindered by knocks to Squidward Tortellini and Dombrovski Maximiliano. Perhaps blunting their attacking edge a little bit today. Certainly worth crediting as well. Good performances from both sides' goalkeepers. Patrick Kerrigan for Oceania and Misag Kabiri for Eurasia. Very strong performances in both nets. A large reason why this was a 0-0 draw. And for our final match today, we move to the other half of Group B, where East Africa take on the British Isles. As I mentioned previously, the British Isles, the home of soccer as a sport, surely one of the favorites going into this tournament. Meanwhile, East Africa, with a large contingent of Zambian players making up their core, will be looking to make some serious noise. It's a stern test for them early on. It is a 5-1-4 for East Africa, completely sacrificing midfield for that flat back five and four attackers. We'll have to see how that works out for them. Meanwhile, for the British Isles, it is a standard 4-2-3-1 on display here. There you see, courtesy of the early result, Eurasia and Oceania level on 1 point apiece. And should either team win this particular match, they would go top of the group by default. It is East Africa who get us started in the orange and green, British Isles in the white and blue. Immediately to Duck. Duck with a cross at the end line, but rebuffed by the defense. And now O'Leary. Trying to bring something forward for the British Isles, but nothing doing. Louis Duck. Dribbling around, finds a teammate. It's Andrews in the middle. Now O'Leary. Counterattack on from British Isles. Here is Muppet. Duck gets the foot in, though. Here's Smart in midfield. Through ball to O'Leary. O'Leary from a tight angle opens the scoring. British Isles making themselves the leaders. And a great way to do it. A great finish there from O'Leary. It was a midfield pass that did it. The lack of midfield for East Africa coming to haunt them here. Still plenty of match to play, however. Some good passing from East Africa as the triangles on the right flank, on the near flank, that is. Ball cut out, though. Super Hoops winning the ball away. Now here's Hunt. Through ball for Swift. And Swift can't beat the offside trap. And indeed could not have beaten Walrison. Duck weaving through the defense. The pass back. O'Leary wins it, but Nolan holding on. Jarrow. And the shot from Andrews. And it's right at Visgrapo. Scott with the through ball. Here's Scud Muffin. Chased by the fence, squaring it. And O'Leary almost having a second. Another great chance for Isles. Don Quixote trying to square it. Ultimately cut out by the defense. We'll get another chance. Don Quixote right at the keeper. And it's another goal kick. Or excuse me, corner kick. Like the opposite of a goal kick. Blackman delivers it. Headed into the air. And ultimately dispatched by Dimitar Derbatov. Isles very much on top of this one, but some flashes of brilliance once again from East Africa. Would very easily force their way back into it. Here's Scott out wide to Super Hoops. Being pursued by Rashford the third. Perhaps related to Rashford the second, but Barry's still out. Super Hoops again. Finds Don Quixote, but Rashford the third able to get there on the loose touch. Jean Gerard. Ball chipped forward, was looking for the run of Derbatov, but couldn't quite get there. Muffin keeping the ball in bounds, and cutting inside and losing out to Louis Duck. Henry Andrews up the far flank. Super Hoops in pursuit. Low cross. Rashford the third. Deflected behind. Andrews with the delivery. Headed up into the air. And that'll be it at the half. East Africa trailing 0-1. British Isles leading. It's been a strong performance from the Isles so far. Good value for their lead. Will East Africa be able to find the combination that gets them back in this match? Likewise, will the British Isles be able to put their foot on the gas and pull away in the second half? Certainly, we are about to find out. 45 minutes remain. And it is Dizzy Martin and David Corrigan making their way onto the pitch for Glenn Smart and Evan Hunt, respectively, for the British Isles. British Isles making the quarterfinals last time out as Wales and England. Certainly we'll be hoping to do better. Don Quixote crosses in, ultimately sent clear, but only as far as Blackman. Here is a corner from Blackman. Sent in and headed away. Muffin trying to keep it in play, does get it back to feet from very close range. And it's a good save from Duncan Walrison, and it rolls out for a deep throw. Well, the British Isles holding on to this lead. They've had the bulk of the chances so far, but East Africa threatening. Duck. Now here's Nolan. Gerard. Here's Duck again. Rashford. Rashford. It was almost a Rashford to Rashford combination there. Now Gerard. Rashford the third. Andrews trying to get around Don Quixote and does. Rashford the third. Squared. Rashford the second. And in the best unintentional foreshadowing I've ever pulled off, it is indeed Rashford to Rashford that provides the equalizer. Rashford getting around O'Leary. Super Hoops gets the foot in, but it's not enough to stop the ball falling to Miko Rashford II. And just like that, East Africa back in this match. It is 1-1. 20 minutes to play here. Super Hoops. Crosses in, headed in by Sean O'Leary. The VAR looking at it, but it would be a great response here. And it is indeed a goal. Super Hoops delivered the great lofted ball. O'Leary breaking at the right time, heading it just beyond the reach of Duncan Walrison in goal. Not an easy feat, it has to be said, and look how close that is. O'Leary with excellent timing on that one. Rashford II sends in the free kick, but it is whipped over the bar. And so the British Isles regain their lead, not long after losing it. East Africa continuing to press. Will be looking to try and equalize once again. Have less time to do it. That pass from Spacchiero, intercepted by Corrigan. Now here come the Isles. Martin threw a ball to O'Leary. O'Leary on a hat trick. And ultimately offside. Would have forced a save out of Walrison, but in the end a moot point. Bull. Back to Duck. East Africa looking for an opening, trying not to overcommit. Trying to avoid conceding on the counter. Here's a chance here for Andrews. Pursued by defenders, and Derbatov, finishing from close range, but it's blocked by the keeper. And now at the other end, it's Blackman with the corner. Sent in, hits the first man, back to Blackman, but now Muffin. Ladiver going down, but the referee says play on. A clean tackle. Don Quixote with the cross, headed in. And that one once again over the bar. As time ticks down, Isles once again holding on to a 1-goal lead here. have looked the better team in most respects today, despite moments of real promise from East Africa, one of which might be playing out here. Here's Andrews on the near flank, gets past Super Hoops, crosses in, and Rashford the second, excuse me, that might be the third, is offside. The Idols looking to minimize mistakes, to hold on to this last few minutes. Scott to O'Leary. Here's Muffin on goal, but was offside. It's a free kick from Rashford the second, sent in, and it's a free kick to the Isles for offside, and that will do it. An important victory for British Isles on match day one as they defeat East Africa 2-1 off the back of a brace by Sean O'Leary. Nico Rashford II providing a consolation for East Africa that did equalize it in between the O'Leary goals, but not quite enough to secure the 3 points. British Isles moving to the top of the group after the draw between Oceania and Eurasia earlier today. There you see the goal for Miko Rashford II. Miko Rashford III creating the pass that led to the goal, but not getting credit for the assist because of the defender touching it in between. Nevertheless, a strong showing from East Africa, but ultimately not quite enough to best the Isles. And there you see Sean O'Leary with a brace is your player of the match. A very strong performance all around by the British Isles. A good showing as well from Super Hoops, as well as Glenn Smart, both of whom providing assists. And there you have it, a 2-1 win for the British Isles to wrap up part one of match day one. Just before we go, a quick recap of the results. Benelux with that incredible 9-4 victory over Canada at the top of the episode, followed by a 5-2 win for West Africa over South America. What followed was a 0-0 draw between Oceania and Eurasia, and of course, as we just witnessed, a brace from Sean O'Leary lifts the British Isles over East Africa 2-1. Benelux and West Africa atop Group A, both with very strong victories. The British Isles at the head of Group B after a draw between Eurasia and Oceania leaves each with 1 point. And it is a very exciting tournament that promises to follow. We hope you'll join us for the rest of it, especially later today for the second half of match day one. Looking forward to see you then. Until then, this has been Metafiction. Take care.